The 737 engine, APU, and main wheel well fire protection systems are the same as those in other jet transports. The systems detect and extinguish fires in the engine and APU, and detect fires in the main wheel well. The engines have a dual-loop overheat fire detection system. The two loops are used for overheat detection and fire detection. The APU fire detection system operates independently of the engine system. It operates the same as the engine system, but uses one loop for fire detection. There is no overheat detection capability for the APU. The main wheel well fire detection system is a one-loop system. It operates the same way as the engine fire detection system. There are two fire extinguisher bottles for the engines. Each bottle can be used only one time. One or two bottles can be used on an engine fire. There is one fire bottle for the APU. The fire extinguishers are supplied power by the hot battery bus. You can discharge the extinguishers with all electrical power off. The engine and APU overheat fire detection systems are powered by the battery bus. The wheel well fire detection system uses AC power. You must have the AC buses energized to activate or test the wheel well system. The cargo compartment fire protection system consists of two systems: cargo compartment smoke detection and cargo compartment fire extinguishing. The cargo compartment smoke detection system is powered by DC bus 1 and DC bus 2. The cargo compartment fire extinguishing system is powered by the hot battery bus. There is also fire protection equipment in the lavatories. Overheat and fire indications are shown on the flight deck on the overheat fire protection panel, cargo fire panel, and the master caution fire panel. A fire bell is installed to give an oral alert when a fire is detected. The two-loop detection system can give an indication of an engine overheat or engine fire condition. The engine overheat light illuminates at a lower temperature than occurs with a fire. Normally, the two loops must send overheat signals for the light to illuminate. An overheat has occurred in the number 1 engine. The master caution lights, the overheat detect light, and the related engine overheat light illuminate. Push the master caution light to extinguish the light and reset the master caution system. Move the thrust lever back to reduce the engine temperature. When the overheat condition is gone, the overheat indications are removed. The system receives the signal that an engine fire exists. The fire detection system operates the same for an engine fire as it does for an overheat. An engine fire indication occurs at a higher temperature than for an overheat condition. The two loops must send fire signals for the alert to occur. There is a fire in the number 1 engine. These are the indications of an engine fire. The fire warning bell operates, the master fire warning lights, the master caution lights, and the overheat detect light illuminates. The related engine fire warning switch and the engine overheat light illuminate on the overheat fire protection panel. Push a master fire warning light or the fire warning bell cutout switch to stop the fire bell and reset the system. Now reset the master caution system. Pull the engine number 1 fire warning switch. When you pull the engine fire warning switch, it arms one discharge squib of each extinguisher bottle. Closes the engine fuel shutoff valve and the spar fuel shutoff valve. Closes the hydraulic fluid shutoff valve and deactivates the hydraulic pump low pressure light. Closes the engine bleed air valve, trips the generator relay and generator breaker, and prevents the use of reverse thrust for that engine. After you pull the engine fire warning switch, you turn the switch in one direction to discharge the selected fire bottle. Now turn the number 1 fire warning switch. After a short delay, the related bottle discharge light illuminates to show that the bottle has discharged. Turn the fire warning switch in the opposite direction to discharge the other fire extinguisher bottle. After a short delay, the other bottle discharge light illuminates. The red light in the engine fire warning switch extinguishes when the temperature decreases below the fire warning activation temperature. The engine overheat light extinguishes when the overheat condition is gone. The engine fire warning switch for the other engine operates the same. The engine fire warning switch is usually locked down. An engine overheat or fire warning supplies a signal that electrically unlocks the engine fire warning switch, which lets you pull the switch. There is a manual override release button that is used if the automatic release fails. It overrides the locking mechanism. You manually push down the override release button and pull the fire switch to override a failed automatic release. APU fire detection operates independently of the engine system. It operates the same as the engine system, but contains only one loop for fire detection. Normally, if an APU fire is detected, the APU shuts down automatically. There is a fire in the APU. These are the flight deck indications of an APU fire. The fire warning bell operates. The master fire warning lights illuminate. The APU fire detection system is for fire only. The master caution and overheat detect annunciator lights do not illuminate. The APU fire warning switch illuminates on the overheat fire protection panel. Stop the fire warning bell and reset the system. Pull the APU fire warning switch. When you pull the APU fire warning switch, it arms the extinguisher bottle discharge squib, closes the APU fuel shutoff valve, which shuts down the APU, closes the APU bleed air valve, trips the APU generator off the bus, and closes the APU air inlet door. You can turn the APU fire warning switch to the left or right to discharge the fire bottle. Now turn the APU fire warning switch. After a short delay, the APU bottle discharge light illuminates. The red light in the APU fire warning switch extinguishes when the temperature cools below the fire activation temperature. An APU fire can also be extinguished from the APU ground control panel located in the main wheel well. There is an APU fire warning horn in the wheel well that operates when there is an APU fire. It is heard at the same time as the fire warning bell in the flight deck. You stop the fire warning horn and the fire warning bell if you push the APU horn cutout switch. Also, there is an APU fire warning light that flashes when there is a fire. There is an APU fire. The APU automatically shuts down when there is a fire. If the fire continues, pull the fire control handle to the down position to make sure the APU is shut down. Now, pull down the fire control handle. When you pull the fire control handle in the wheel well, it is the same as if you pulled the APU fire warning switch in the flight deck. Move the APU bottle discharge switch to discharge the APU fire bottle. When the loop cools, the APU fire warning light extinguishes. The main wheel well fire detection system uses one detector loop in the main landing gear wheel well. The system detects a wheel well fire. The wheel well fire indications are the fire warning bell operates, the master fire warning lights, and the wheel well fire warning light illuminate. Push the master fire warning light or the bell cutout switch to stop the fire warning bell and reset the system. A wheel well fire is extinguished by airflow. There are no fire extinguishers for the wheel well. You lower the landing gear to let air flow through the wheel well. Airspeed must be below the maximum landing gear extension speed before you lower the landing gear. Lower the landing gear. When the detector loop cools, the wheel well fire warning light extinguishes. There is an extinguisher bottle under the sink in each lavatory. The agent automatically discharges when a fire is detected by heat-sensitive plugs. The normal color of the discharge nozzle tip is flat black. The nozzle tip color changes to ash gray after the system has discharged. There is no flight deck indication when the lavatory extinguisher discharges. A temperature indicator placard is on the inside of the access door below each sink. White dots on the placard turn black when exposed to high temperatures. If an indicator is black or an extinguisher nozzle tip is ash gray, it is possible that the extinguisher has discharged. There is a smoke detector in each lavatory. A green light illuminates when the unit is operable. When smoke is detected, a horn operates and the red alarm indicator illuminates. The horn continues to operate and the light is illuminated until the smoke is gone. You press the interrupt switch to stop the horn. First, we'll look at cargo compartment smoke detection. The forward and aft cargo compartments each have smoke detectors in a dual loop configuration. Normally, both loops must sense smoke before a warning is generated to the flight deck. The aft cargo compartment smoke detection system consists of 6 detectors. The forward cargo compartment smoke detection system consists of 4 detectors. Each detector is mounted in a recessed ceiling pan. The detectors interface with a cargo electronics unit, CEU, adjacent to the cargo door in that compartment. The CEUs send the signal of a fire to the Cargo Fire Panel, CFP, in the flight deck. The Cargo Fire Panel, CFP, is used to test the smoke detection system and activate the fire extinguishing system. To test the smoke detection system, push the test button. Master fire warning lights illuminate. The fire warning bell sounds after a 1-second delay. The extinguisher test lights illuminate when all detectors in selected loops respond to the fire test. Forward and aft cargo fire warning lights illuminate when all detectors in selected loops respond to the fire test. And the cargo fire bottle discharge light illuminates. The detector fault light illuminates if any detector in selected loops fails to respond to test. At the end of the test, a 4-second delay allows the system to reset before it will alert that there is a fire. When a cargo compartment fire is detected, the fire warning bell sounds, both master fire warning lights illuminate, and the warning light of the compartment on fire illuminates. The cargo compartment fire extinguishing system discharges halon extinguishant through aluminum tubing that branches and connects to 3 discharge nozzles in the aft compartment and 2 nozzles in the forward compartment. The nozzles are located in the cargo compartment ceilings. To extinguish a cargo compartment fire, push the armed switch of the lighted cargo compartment fire warning. Lift the discharge protective cover and push the discharge switch. The discharge switch illuminates once the bottle is discharged. You check the fire detection system during normal pre-flight. If electrical power is off, first turn on the battery switch. This supplies DC power to the fire detection system. Now, the master caution lights and some of the system annunciator lights illuminate. Reset the master caution system to make the fire protection system test easier. You do the fault in-op test with the fault in-op and overheat fire test switch. This tests the fault detection circuits for the engines and the APU. Select Fault In-Op now. Normal indications are the master caution lights, the overheat detector light, the fault light, and the APU detector in-op lights. Now do the overheat fire test. This tests the overheat and fire detection loops on the engines and the APU. If the AC buses are energized, the fire loop in the wheel well is also tested. Select Overheat Fire now. Normal indications are the fire warning bell operates, the master fire warning lights, the master caution lights, the overheat detector lights, the red lights in all 3 fire warning switches, and the engine 1 overheat and engine 2 overheat lights illuminate. If the AC buses are energized, the wheel well fire warning light also illuminates. You test the fire extinguisher system with the extinguisher test switch. To test the number 1 discharge circuits for all 3 extinguisher bottles, select one now. If all 3 green lights illuminate, the test is satisfactory. Now select 2 with the extinguisher test switch. This tests the number 2 discharge circuits for all 3 extinguisher bottles. All 3 green lights illuminate to complete the functional test. This completes the pre-flight fire system test. The overheat detector switches on the overheat fire protection panel have 3 positions: Loop A, Loop B, and Normal. During normal operation, with the switch in the normal position, the system uses loops A and B. If Loop A or Loop B fails, the fault detection system automatically disconnects the defective loop. There is no flight deck indication when one loop fails. If a fire occurs, the remaining active loop supplies all normal overheat and fire indications. One detector fault light is installed for the engines. If the 2 detector loops on the same engine have faults, only the fault light illuminates. The master caution lights do not illuminate. An APU detector inoperative light is installed for the APU. The APU detector inoperative light illuminates when a fault occurs in the APU detector loop. The master caution and overheat detector annunciator lights also illuminate. Do not operate the APU in this condition. During a cargo fire test, the detector fault light will illuminate if one or more detectors in the loop has failed. The failed loops are isolated with detector select switches. Do the fire detection system test. The battery is off and AC power is not available. When you first turn on the battery, the master caution lights and some of the system annunciator lights illuminate. Reset the master caution system first. You have completed the fire detection system test.